Okay, fifth grade, go back now to the top of page 59. We're going to go to the middle box there for our next property, which is the identity property of multiplication. Okay, read the underlined part to yourself as I read it to you. When you multiply any number by 1, the product is that number. So they show you there 5 times 1 equals what? 5. Yes. Okay, now let's get that copied into our notes. The identity property of multiplication states that when you multiply any number, doesn't matter what number it is, by 1, the product is that number. So here we see 5 times 1 is going to equal that number. Whatever number times 1, that's going to be your answer. 6 times 1 is going to give me what? That number is going to be my answer. So 6. 187 times 1 is going to be that number, which is 187. So this one's pretty cut and dry, simple to remember. Anytime you multiply anything by 1, you will get that number.
That's a serious review.
Okay, so Ms. Bennett says you should already know that, so
yes.
Not a hard task. Okay, let's move on to our last and final property, which should also, I do believe, be reviewed simply, is the zero property of multiplication. Okay, that states when you multiply any number by 0, the product is going to be what? 0. So simple. It doesn't matter where it is in the sentence. Whenever you see 0, you know your product has to be 0. So put down a couple examples here. 5 times 0 obviously gives us 0. 8 times 0 gives us 0. 207 times 0 gives us what? Yes, 0. So a simple another property to find. Anything times 0 will be 0. Okay, good point now to put down any questions on the understanding of properties. And now we're going to move to your guided practice, page 58. It says, do you know? It says in 1 through 5, write the multiplication property used in each equation. So number 1, they have 65 times 1 equals 65. What property is that representing? The identity property. Good. So all we need to then do is copy down our identity property. Use your book for spelling so you get it done correctly. Okay, spelling is important. All right, number 2 shows us 45 times 6 equals 6 times 45. What happened here? Yes, the factors were switched. Are we still going to get the same answer? Yes. So what property does that remind us of? Good. Commutative. Perfect. Put it down. Excuse Miss Sharber's spelling. I think I got to check my commutative. C-O-M-M-U-T. Nope, see, Miss Sharber messed it up too. C-O-M-M. These are not short words. U-T. Oh, mercy. Excuse the smartboard malfunctions with Miss Sharber. C-O-M-M. Oh, and I did it again. C-O-M-M-U-T. Mercy. A-T-I-V-E.
Community, okay, great job.
Okay, sorry about Miss Sharber's mess up there. All right, and number 3, 33 times 0 equals 0. What property does that represent? Easy, yes, the 0 property, good. So again today, we're just trying to make sure we understand that we know what property each of these problems is representing. Number 4, 11 times 9 equals 9 times 11. Kind of similar to what number? Number 2, good. So that is what property? Good, the commutative. Here I go again. Why is this?
Because it's
UT,
in.
yes, and I want to put an N in there.
Mm-hmm, I do too.
Commutative property. And we're all going to work on that spelling, along with your teacher. Okay, and number 5 of guided practice says 6 times 20 times 5 equals 6 times 20 times 5. What was changed here? Yes, the parentheses. So the grouping was changed this time, not just the factors. So what a property does that give us this time? Good, the associative property. So get that copied down. Excellent. Okay, number 6 in your textbook, page 58, says, using equations, give an example for each property of multiplication. They want you to do some of the examples like we just did, but on your own. So write a problem and then label it on your own. So you're going to take number 6 now and leave some space, and you can come back to that in a minute or just fully pause and do the work right now so you have that space in your spiral done. And then we're going to move to number 7. It says, in the following equations, what number should you replace each box with? And then it says, which property of multiplication is used? So in A here, we have 40 times 8 equals something times 40. What is going to fill in that empty space? 8. Good job. Okay, and then what property is that representing? Good, commutative. Okay, and then part B says 1,037 times what is going to give me 1,037? What's going to go in that box? 1. Perfect. And then what property does that represent? Good, the identity property. All right, good job, 5th grade. We are now through the guided practice part. If you have any questions, please write them down now.